The scene was like something out of a high-tension crime drama from Hollywood. Police with guns drawn, black-suited SWAT team members, and stretchers being rushed inside the building. Images like this were just not supposed to happen in Edmond, Oklahoma, but it was all too real. And for those who escaped the mass murder inside the post office, what they had just seen and heard was something straight out of a nightmare.
Got outside, tried to find out who was. They had about 5 of them laying over here.
Okay. Some of your friends.
Close friends.
Part-time mail carrier Patrick Sherrill, who had been reprimanded by supervisors at the post office the day before, had walked into the building at 7 a.m. on August 20th, 1986 with 3 handguns and started shooting. Sherrill was considered an expert marksman with a pistol and had military training. One of the first victims was one of the supervisors from the day before, and then indiscriminate killing. Police officer Steve Thompson of Edmond saw the carnage left behind in one corner of the post office.
I'm going to guess 6 or 7 women were back there hiding, and he just went back there and shot them all. They're all, mothers and daughters, and it was just really sad.
In all, Sherrill shot and killed 14 employees and wounded 6 others before turning the gun on himself.
Now this is a paper from 30 years ago, right?
Yes.
I recently visited with Jerry Reed and Herb Retke. Both worked at the post office back in 1986. Both worked with and knew Patrick Sherrill. Jerry was inside the building that morning when he heard a pop. At first he thought someone had dropped something.
Cases that they hold letters in, sometimes people would drop them, so it would pop, pop, pop. So, at first you thought, it's just those, but then we realized it wasn't. It was gunfire.
Jerry and another employee got behind a desk, and after a few more gunshots, Jerry told his friend it was time to make a run for the door.
So we took off and running down the aisle, and we had to turn to go out. And just as I got there, I just kind of glanced back, and Pat Sherrill was right there, just getting ready to come down that aisle. If we'd have hesitated 30 seconds or a minute, I wouldn't be here.
As it turned out, Jerry saw the gunman as he was seeking out his last victims.
And then Billy Miller, he was down, hookered under the case. Pat Sherrill shot him there. And then Lee Phillips, he was in the break room under a table. Pat Sherrill come in there and shot him, and then went out in the middle and killed himself. All that happened as we ran out the door.
Later that morning, after police released the survivors, the emotion of that deadly morning overtook Jerry.
I came back and got in my car and just started driving. And I spent probably 2 or 3 hours out Arcadia and just drove around. I just had to get away.
I remember everything about all of them because we saw them all every day.
Herb helped organize the 30-year remembrance of the victims this past weekend. That morning 30 years ago, he was not in the post office, but was on the phone with a supervisor when Sherrill apparently began his rampage, because suddenly...
Clamor and the phone dropped and disconnected.
Herb's mission now, keep the victims' memories alive.
For 30 years, we've never forgot them.
So many people in Edmond had a connection to the victims that day. Ironically, even Officer Thompson responding to the scene.
There was a guy out in the parking lot that had been shot, and I started to go towards him, and I was told by another officer that he'd already been checked and he was dead. And to find out later, I was in his daughter's wedding as a best man.
Questions arose over police procedure at that time, because at first police thought they might have a hostage situation on their hands inside the post office.
Do you think things would have been different at the post office had you guys done?
Probably not. As we arrived, it was all done, but it would have been the response that you would see today.
That little Patty here was a sweetheart.
For survivors like Jerry, who remember the 14 friends they lost that morning, it's been faith that has helped ease the pain and the burden of what they saw and heard 30 years ago.
Through it all, the Lord has been good to me and helped me to overcome it.
You know, here on News Channel 4, we pride ourselves for being first, the first TV station in Oklahoma, the first color TV broadcast in our state.
And even the first broadcast tornado warning in the country. Now KFOR is proud to introduce another first in our history, one you have to experience in person. And Bob Moore Chopper 4 pilot John Welsh takes us to the skies to see it.
When you leave the metro and head out west, you expect to see fields of corn. But for the last 15 years, one Oklahoma family has been putting a unique twist on the old cornfield.
The maize is completely planted in a square field. Everything's planted, and then we use GPS and come back and cut it out with GPS systems.
The corn grows as high as an elephant's eye here in Oklahoma.
It can grow up to 8 inches a day in the middle of the summer.
And here at P-Bar Farms, just east of Weatherford, the Liebscher family plants a unique theme field each season.
2001 is when I started doing a corn maze, and in 2003 we made a conscious decision to move away from conventional farming and take a full-time approach to agritourism.
This year's theme at the P-Bar Farms is the forewarned Cornado maze, with over 3.5 miles of trails and 100 chances to get lost. Like me.
And we have 2 sides. We have an easy side and a hard side. So the hard side on this one will take someone about 45 minutes, maybe 30 if they're really good. And so we plan on 1 hour of being lost is what we try to shoot for.
I made it!
It's amazing.
He made it.
I love it.
You know, there are a lot of really cool things in that piece. Corn grows, did you catch that? 8 inches a day in the summer in Oklahoma when it's wet like it has been. And yes, you did hear the word cornado.
Something doesn't seem right here.
Well, where are we going?
I thought this was a detour.
This is the longest way to work.
You guys, I swear, KFOR, KAUT is that way.
Stop the cart.
Maybe we should ask for directions.
Where are we? We're at some abandoned theme park.
You guys, I told you we should have taken our normal way on the Bricktown Canal. You said that this was the way to go.
That water boat is costing me a lot of money. You guys never pay, and you know that.
Hello?
It's such a nice looking
Here?
place.
This is scary. Should have brought our phones.
We need like a map or something. Oh, perfect.
Thanks.
All right, let's see. If we go.
Here, let's look at the map. I think there's a dense fog advisory.
Where are you letting go of me? Is that your hand? Excuse me.
Has anyone seen Lucas? Lucas?
Emily? Lacey? That wasn't too bad.
When storm clouds roll in, Oklahomans inevitably think about severe weather, and that occasionally means tornadoes. But engineers here in Birmingham, Alabama, have come up with a new product, unlike anything on the market today. Oklahoma is tornado country, home to some of the most wicked weather on the planet. But Tornado Alley has an equally lethal neighbor to the southeast. Notorious outbreaks stretch from East Texas to Georgia. Dixie Alley has recorded its share of strong and violent twisters.
When the 2011 storms hit, it was really devastating for Alabama, and so we knew we had technologies that could be applicable to stopping debris that's flying around the tornadoes.
Engineers at the University of Alabama, Birmingham are now using their skills in military ballistics.
So we came up with this stiffening liner that adds very little weight, but fits right inside the shell and helps reduce concussive forces.
To stop Mother Nature.
It's far easier to stop a 2x4.
Thousands of research hours, 2 years of development and testing.
Plenty of blood, sweat, and tears.
Resulting in these storm panels, which are built to protect people against flying debris.
The gentleman who does the testing kind of came in and gave this a funny look, like there's no way that's going to pass. I'm used to testing things that are made out of concrete and steel, and then definitely changed his perception after he tested a couple panels, and the 2x4s ricocheted almost all the way back to his control panel. If you look at the back face, there's almost no back face deformation of damage of any kind. Here's an impact location right here.
Equivalent to 6 inches of concrete.
And this was the first shot.
Not much heavier than a standard 4x8 sheet of drywall.
Doesn't need special tools to work with it. You can cut it with a circular saw. You can use nails, screws to put it together.
And made from 50% recycled material.
This is your milk jugs and your detergent bottles.
So you're telling me this is stopping tornadoes?
Yes.
This coupled with that.
Right.
And we're saving lives.
Saving lives.
Wow. This first-of-its-kind technology has been approved by the National Storm Shelter Association. A fortified closet was recently added to this Montgomery, Alabama home.
In a severe storm, if the house is destroyed, the safe room itself would remain intact.
Any room can be retrofitted with this unique on-campus creation. UAB hopes this home is the first of many.
We can now come up with relatively simple solutions, relatively cheap solutions that can be put in homes, put in schools, put in nursing homes, put in churches.
Power flash is close! No more racing to a designated safe room, garage, or backyard to take refuge in an underground shelter.
10, 15 seconds, you're in the storm shelter, you're safe. Don't have to grab a lot of things.
Power flashes.
Seconds matter in those kinds of terrible storms.
Life or death, really.
Absolutely.
These revolutionary storm panels may look simple, but they're built to withstand Mother Nature's absolute worst.
You can't stop Mother Nature, that there are certain things, tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, that we have no real power to affect our survival. And in fact, we do.
That is on the ground. The next time monster storms emerge, whether it's Dixie or Tornado Alley, buildings will soon be fortified, safer, with technology born from tragedy. In Birmingham, Alabama, Lance West, News Channel 4.
And tonight we answer several calls from our In Your Corner hotline. They come from families who paid thousands of dollars to have storm shelters installed at their homes. Tonight, Scott Hines goes in their corner.
Sum that up. We see today a lot of heartache.
And a storm shelter that's been belly up for a year now.
And you can see what it looks like after a rain.
Mike Johnson's yard is pretty much useless, not to mention dangerous for his kids. He says the worst part, though, is knowing his family doesn't have anywhere to go during a tornado.
I paid money for this to protect my family.
The guy who installed the shelter is John Keeley of Common Ground Storm Shelters. Mike says he refuses to come and get it.
Because I've spent a lot of time calling the guy. The bad part is you try to be nice. You know, I understand the situation he's in. He actually had multiple shelters that I'm aware of that have floated up out of the ground.
We checked. The state confirms 5 complaints against Keeley's company. Plus, we know the Better Business Bureau lowered his rating to an F for failing to respond to complaints. Mike tried calling the business owner one more time.
Yes, this is Keeley Safe Room. Please leave your message.
We found his address online and waited for him to return home.
Howdy. Good. How's it going?
Good.
You ready to talk to us? Why not? We need to talk to you about.
You guys spin it all.
We need to talk to you about Michael's. Where? How come it's floating?
Keeley didn't want to get out of his SUV to talk to us.
John, the shelter you installed in Michael's backyard is now floating.
Have you been back to his house to look at it? We were just there.
That's all you're going to get.
Are you going to give him his money back? Keeley says he's only installing safe rooms now. What he handed me was a report that says his safe room design was tested and approved by the National Wind Institute at Texas Tech, which we reminded him has nothing to do with the below-ground shelter now floating in Mike's backyard. Are you going to give him his money back?
Absolutely.
Oh, you are?
Absolutely.
Well, it's been... Does he
Do
know?
I look like a guy that's got that kind of money? But you know what?
Does he know that?
We're working on it. Yes, I do.
You've had a year. You've had a year. Will you call them? Here's the In Your Corner bottom line. State agencies don't regulate shelter installers, period. Some municipalities, including Oklahoma City, require a permit, but it does little good to protect customers. Just ask Ken Milligan.
And that was even hilarious. We had to pull a city permit and then let them know it was installed so they could come out and check it. They drove by the house, is all they done.
Ken says his shelter is built good, but several issues came to light shortly after the install.
And all I can guess is when they put it in, these walls compressed a little bit.
Biggest thing is water. There appears to be hollow spots beneath the shelter.
After some of these rains and stuff, I've noticed now I could hear water sloshing around.
Ken paid extra for a warranty, but the company that installed it, Precision Shelters, went out of business. We know the company's managing partner, Dan Trantham, is filing bankruptcy and now lives in Fort Worth. Here he is on YouTube.
Our shelter is a handcrafted product, built well, built to last, and has a lifetime warranty.
Trantham tells the In Your Corner team there simply wasn't enough money to keep the doors open. And because he's in bankruptcy proceedings, there's nothing he can do to help Ken right now.
What recourse do I have? Probably none. Because if he's not in business, I have no business to go to. Because odds are he's not going to stand behind it.
It's so important to educate yourself, getting references, doing searches online, and making sure that your storm shelter or safe room meets FEMA guidelines. John Keeley tells me that right now he doesn't have the extra cash to pay back his customers, but he's working on it. We'll check back. I'm Scott Hines, In Your Corner.
And if you need Scott's help, you can get in touch with Scott by heading to KFOR.com/inyourcorner, or you can simply call the number you see at the bottom of your screen.
Our In Your Corner team has new information tonight, and it involves a family whose storm shelter popped right out of the ground. Couldn't believe our eyes. The guy who installed it refused to do anything about it. But someone else who caught wind of our story stepped up to the plate. Scott Hines has the update.
Look what's going in the ground in Mike Johnson's backyard.
And answer our prayers.
Remember, the family's old shelter was floating for an entire year. The guy who installed it, John Keeley of Common Ground Storm Shelters, was refusing to come back and get it or refund Mike his cash. Are you going to give him his money back?
Absolutely.
Oh, you are?
Absolutely.
Well, it's been... Does he
Do I look like a guy that's got that kind of money? But you know what?
Does he know that?
We're working on it. Yes, I do.
You've had a year. You've had a year. Will you call them? Will you please? Keeley never called, but someone else did. How did you hear about Mike and his family?
Your story.
It was actually Jason Birdsong's mom who saw our story. She called Jason, and he and his crew from Survivor Shelters drove all the way from Tulsa to help the Johnson family.
There's no way I can ever say thanks enough to a company, to a heart as generous as yours.
That's what it's all about. I've got family at home. I got a little girl, wife and daughter, and I want them to be safe when I'm out working too.
Jason says the shelter he put in the ground isn't going anywhere.
Mom, how excited? Very excited, very blessed.
Show me. Do like a little dance or a little...
Yes, we are very excited.
We're excited about getting the trampoline back here before too long.
Yes.
Best part for Dad, knowing his family is safe.
Really, from the bottom of our heart, we appreciate it. There's nothing we can ever do to repay you guys for the kindness that you showed to my family and taking care of us.
I'm Scott Hines. In Your Corner.
Looks like a happy family. Unfortunately, there are other Keeley customers whose shelters are still floating in their backyards. All of them filed complaints with the Attorney General's office. Since shelter installers aren't regulated by the state, it's smart to do your homework online. One useful resource is the American Tornado Shelter Association, which keeps an information base online of shelter installers who do things the right way.
Elsewhere tonight, another vocational school in Oklahoma City goes belly up, and our phones in the newsroom have been ringing off the hook. This after students were locked out of Heritage College. Many of them are now in major debt and just weeks from graduation, left wondering what to do next. In Your Corner reporter Scott Hines is in their corner.
Are you serious?
No word, no warning.
No email, no text, no nothing. Are y'all serious?
Students in shock, locked out of Heritage College in South Oklahoma City.
I have 3 weeks. He has 4.
I have, 4 weeks left, and then I'm supposed to start my clinicals.
I feel defeated. It's hard not to be upset in front of them, but I'm really upset.
Lashita Ford has 2 young kids and was supposed to graduate later this month. Now she's left without a degree and tens of thousands of dollars in student debt.
They could have had the decency to tell us, just be decent.
Right.
It's a coward. They were all here, directors, there were instructors here. None of them apologized. None of them said anything. They just left.
This couple's daughter was going to school to become a medical assistant.
She has like $30,000 in student loans.
$30,000?
And the sad part about it is she has 5 kids.
Similar stories of other single parents trying to make a better life for their family.
So just 10 days away from getting your diploma.
Yeah, I spent a lot of crying when I got the phone call. I mean, I don't know what to do.
That phone call from a fellow student who found out on Facebook. We tried getting answers from Heritage College, calling and emailing them. No response so far. The Oklahoma Board of Private Vocational Schools tells you in Your Corner team they're scrambling to get information to students and are in talks with other local schools about helping to facilitate transfers.
Hopefully we'll be able to get her transferred into a different program, but we don't even know if Heritage College's the credits will transfer.
Right. We'll keep you posted on things. I'm Scott Hines in Your Corner.
Well, you can imagine the frustration there, and it looks like Heritage College is closing all 10 of its campuses nationwide. But as of this hour, its website is still up and operating with no explanation of the abrupt closing. Now, the state is requesting student transcripts from Heritage. They want students to call their office and register so they can help them figure out their next step in all of this. Our In Your Corner team has new details for you tonight about the sudden closure of Heritage College. Some students were just weeks away from graduating. Now they're in major debt from student loans, and they're wondering if they're going to ever get a diploma. Tonight, our In Your Corner team takes a closer look at the college and what options there are for these displaced students.
Are you serious?
Our camera was rolling as students were learning for the first time they were locked out of class.
No email, no text, no nothing. Are y'all serious?
Heritage College finally put out their statement saying they ran out of cash and were forced to shut their doors due to a declining number of students and a decreased demand for services of for-profit schools.
I feel very cheated, very. And then for them to shut the doors and not tell anybody.
As we get new information, we will share it.
Nora House and her agency, the Oklahoma Board of Private Vocational Schools, are helping students figure out a plan to either transfer to another school or apply to have their federal student loans discharged.
If somebody wasn't able to transfer, if they didn't have their credits accepted, there's a thing called a closed school discharge. That way, the student loan doesn't hurt the student's credit record.
The for-profit sector is going through a major shakeup right now. Heritage College is the third for-profit school to abruptly shut its doors in Oklahoma this year. We know state legislators are revisiting the state's requirements of these colleges and may impose stricter financial guidelines.
One of our thoughts is if we get the information sooner, have our own list of red flags of alerts, triggers, we can monitor closer, and then at that point we might put some kind of middle-of-the-way interventions in.
That won't help these former Heritage students right now.
So what are you going to do now?
I don't know.
We found one option right next door.
Being so close to Heritage College, we just kind of noticed what was going on.
John Claybon and his staff from Oklahoma City Community College offer similar programs and believe OCCC could be a good fit for some students hoping to complete their degrees or certificates.
It's a matter of case by case. So we need to sit down and look at what programs they've actually completed, what they took, and look and see if there's some kind of assessment that's in place.
Many of these students we talked to hope to transfer schools, and for some of them, they won't have to go very far. Right next door at OCCC, Monday, they're putting on an assistance fair for former Heritage College students, and really anyone for that matter looking to further their education. Everything you need to know is on our website. I'm Scott Hines, in your corner.
From News Channel 4, this is Breaking News.
So we have some breaking news to tell you about an emergency landing at Will Rogers World Airport. John Welsh and Bob Moore, Chopper 4, got the whole thing on video. John, can you tell us what's happening out there?
Kristen, right now, I don't know if you can hear us or not. This is here at Will Rogers. This is I'm sure you're watching the video by now. This is a King Air B200 that landed just 3 or 4 minutes ago, and it had stuck landing gear. As you can see, it came down on the right side of the runway. Currently, the 17 right runway is closed down here at Will Rogers. Luckily, everybody, it appeared that there was just one pilot in the aircraft that we saw get out, got out uninjured, did a really nice job landing on the runway. Kept the nose gear off as long as he could, but eventually he couldn't get the engine stopped down before they actually, did a prop strike, basically. So now what is happening here is the right side of the runway here at Will Rogers, 17 right, is closed, which is the west runways, as they continue to look at this airplane here, and then they'll end up towing it off. What happened was the nose gear just wouldn't come down. This airplane, like I said, is a 99 model B200 King Air. It's registered here out of Oklahoma City. We'll hopefully get some more information for the later part of the shows here, Kristen.
All right, thank you so much, John, for that update. Again, safe emergency landing here at Will Rogers World Airport. Just incredible. So glad to report that it seems everyone's okay. And of course, as John said, we're going to bring you much more information in the later newscast, so stick here with News Channel 4.
County, we want to go live to, this is obviously Bob Moore, Chopper 4, John Welsh up there. Speeds excess 106 miles per hour. John, what can you tell us about this?
Yeah, right now we're showing you, it looks like a white Suburban or a Tahoe pulling a trailer. It's southbound, I believe, on Air Depot. Police are in pursuit of it now. He's pulling into a neighborhood here, Meg. Let me make a call real quick to approach, and I'll be right back with you.
All right. Thank you, John and Meg. That, as you saw, that car was pulling a trailer going 100 and something miles an hour.
That's what makes it so strange. We heard first speeds of 85 miles per hour, then 106 miles per hour. And again, it's on Douglas? Is that what they're saying, on Douglas?
We're going to get a check from John. It's been going on for a long time. It started out on Britain and Choctaw. It's moved all over the place. Why this person is running, we don't have any idea. We seldom do, and they say, oh my goodness, I tell you what, there's going to be something bad happen here.
Okay, look at this, going through that intersection.
Yeah.
Now, we're told police have struggled with trying to stop him because they can't use their normal maneuvers because of the trailer on the back of the Tahoe. So that's caused some problems. They're trying to reconfigure and figure out a way they can do that with the trailer on the back of that SUV.
Right, they can't use their takeout move there that they usually use. And again, you see this is a two-lane street. And so you see vehicles pulling over as they see the flashing lights ahead of them. This chase has been going on for some time, and it doesn't look like it's going to go away anytime soon. John, you back with us? I know you had to talk to...
Yeah, I'm back with you, Kevin.
Okay.
Hey, we're on post. We're coming up on Reno southbound, and as you can see, we have Oklahoma City in pursuit. Coming up on the intersection right here of Reno, still southbound. Definitely a hazard to people if you're on post.
What?
Look at that guy, Kevin. He's outside the back.
He let it go.
Yeah, there it goes. Trailer's gone.
The trailer's going into the median. And, it kind of just opened himself up to be a TVI or a
tactical maneuver now. Now they'll be able to perform that if they can get up close to him.
Well, John, that was something we haven't seen. Go ahead.
Kevin, I've never seen anything like that before in my life. I mean, that guy leaned out of the back. And, had a wreck right here at the intersection of 15th. We're still southbound on Reno. 15th, the next intersection is a mile away, and you can see Oklahoma City is getting close. I'm sorry, Oklahoma County is getting close.
Yeah, they are.
Let's see, looks like he's going to go southbound. Well, yep, there you go, southbound on Douglas. coming up to I-40. We'll try and hold a hover right here.
Coming up to
So we
I-40.
don't lose
This
him.
does not look
There
like
he
it's
goes.
going to
He's
end
getting on
well.
I-40.
We hope no innocent people are injured in this, and this is what makes you so mad about these people who
Yeah,
run.
look at he's passing guys there on the on-ramp.
Right.
Well, it's, you know, just after 5 o'clock, the busiest time. It's a Friday. Just the timing here couldn't be worse.
So he's on Interstate 40 now, John.
Yeah,
A lot of traffic
right
here.
there. He just pulled in through the shell. It looks like he's fixing to go north on Air Depot.
Yeah, this is a very crowded
again,
area.
Guys, it looks like Oklahoma County's terminated the pursuit. I don't think he knows that, but you know, we're not seeing any police cars around here.
I was going to ask if anybody had caught up with him, but at this point, we don't see any police officers.
Well, because
It looks like he hit maybe that white Jeep. He's still northbound on Air Depot Road at this time. Coming up on 15th here, Kevin and Meg.
Okay.
And as you can see, I mean, there's a blatant disregard for public safety with this guy. I mean, he's in and out of traffic. You know, in just a matter of minutes, he's fixing to hit somebody, Kevin.
You can just tell that, John, because of all the traffic that's out right now. Has no regard for anybody else on the road, like right there. And this could result in a head-on collision where some innocent passengers are severely injured or killed. You just hate seeing this kind of thing.
Again, at rush hour, you know, this has been an issue with police. They've been discussing when they should pursue, and when they should terminate, because it does put people in jeopardy if someone continues. Now, in this case, nobody's after this person, but he's still going.
Yeah, he's westbound on 15th now. He kind of slowed down a little bit until he saw the people at that intersection, then he sped up a lot. Here comes the intersection. Let's see what happens here. He narrowly missed cars, thank goodness. He's still westbound, coming up on Bryant.
Well, let's see what he does here. Crossing over.
Now he's going through a neighborhood.
Yep, he's in a neighborhood now.
Dale City. Now, this is the bad thing, is, you know, it's what, 5 o'clock now? A little after 5, 5:12. Kids are out of school, it's Friday. You know, now is when this guy is becoming a definite hazard to everybody, Kevin.
Absolutely, it's a deadly threat.
At this point, it almost looks like he's just finding a place where he can ditch the car and make it out on foot.
Yeah, that seems to be the course. If they
There's
go,
more
there's
stuff
more.
flying out of the car.
Yep, something else.
So he just passed Dale City High School. He's in a neighborhood in that area, driving crazy.
I think they know that the jig is up, so now
high school guys.
they're trying to get rid of anything that might be illegal. There's more.
More things coming out of the vehicle.
Just cleaning it out, I think, Kevin, is what they're doing here.
Apparently.
But now he's going back towards the high school. And, you know,
Past
I
Dale
count about
City
7 or 8
Elementary.
police cars that are right around here.
Right. And
How many cars?
I was fixing to come back out on Sunny Lane.
How many officers are you seeing? How many units out there right now? Can you get a grip on that?
I see 3 units in pursuit, and I see 3 other units that are just kind of in the area waiting.
now he's on Sunny Lane, and he's heading northbound on Sunny Lane. There's the high school. You see the big
he's
field
coming back
house
to
there.
Dale City High.
Yeah. All those squiggly lines. Oh boy.
And 420 has
Close.
traffic
There's a unit right there.
John has a lot to deal with up there. He's and there's another emergency vehicle about to give chase.
There are a lot of units. They seem to be going the other direction.
Well, there's just only so
guys,
much they
he's
can do
just
right
coming in and
now with
out.
so much traffic out there.
So dangerous.
We're coming back on
He is starting to pick up speed now, too.
122.85.
I-40 is coming up again. He's already been on Interstate 40 once. We keep calling it a him. It could be a female
That's true.
driving.
That's true.
But the suspect, well, there's the underpass.
Oh, this is
spin
it.
out.
That's it.
Spin out.
That's it. All right.
We don't know if they hit a vehicle underneath that bridge or if they hit something else.
Now the car's still going.
The car's damaged and it's not going anywhere right now.
Okay, are they going to run? Are they going to? Now the question is, will they bail?
There's that car is just about out of juice here. Oh, they're sparking. They're dragging metal. It's sparking down the road. You see that.
One of the tires is out, it looks like.
And this car does not have, it's on life support at this point. Coming up on Reno.
And there's a police officer right there.
Right.
I'm sure there are a couple others.
More debris coming off the car. Car's on life support at this point. It's not going to last much longer. And we'll see what the suspect does.
We're fixing to see an into it right here, Kevin. We're coming up on Reno.
Right.
And Sunny Lane. So we'll see if they stop him right here, if he can try and make it up. If he keeps going farther north, he's going to dead end right here. Because there's just train tracks that run east and west.
Now the question is, what does the suspect do once they are stopped? Let's hope they come out and they give up peacefully.
They're having trouble steering.
This
so
is back
that's
on
the
Reno,
problem. You
John.
can see them fishtailing.
Right.
They can't control that car anymore.
And the car is coming to a stop because the tires are on fire on one side, it looks like.
And we surmise there are at least 2 people in there.
Because
there
he goes. He's on foot.
Oh,
so
you got to be kidding me.
There's 2 people in the vehicle, we know for sure.
Yeah, there has to be.
You got to be kidding me. Where do they think they're going?
Well, they're fixing to try and go in this. They're going through the store right there in the corner.
He is apprehended. The man is down.
The man is down.
In custody. Let's go back, Dillard, to the car and let's see if they have the other guy. And, all right, they've got both people.
Both down.
Both down, guns drawn. You saw the one take off.
There's another one over there, so 3. I'm seeing another one over there.
There's 3 total.
And is there anyone else in the car? I don't know. They're checking that out right now.
There's not much left in the car because they threw most of it out, apparently, going down the road. So we've had 3 suspects in that car, John and Meg, and they both fled the car after the wheels came off and started sparking. All 3 were apprehended. One, as you saw, ran all the way over here, then turned around and gave up and was tackled.
The other 2 didn't make it as far, did they, Kevin? No, and it's not often you say the wheels.
And the good thing, the good thing to take away from all this is we had one. Looks like he hit one car, and at this point we've been turned around so much. I don't know. It looked like it was a 4-door Jeep, but other than that, we don't have any injuries. So this was a a great job by the police as far as when they backed off and allowed him to slow down, and then they caught him in the long run, guys. Tell you right now, the fire started at the cemetery in 123rd Street, and it's moved 2 miles up. Right now we're at 156, and I'm shooting towards the southwest at 156 and Etowah Road, and it has just now jumped Etowah Road going towards Post Oak. The thing about this fire is it pretty much has 2 flanks. It has an east flank and a west flank. Difference in this fire and one like in Stillwater, there's not very many cedar trees here. There's a lot more oak trees and stuff, so you're getting the falling embers is what is spreading this fire. Fire crews were right here, and they've left and went farther north as the fire just keeps jumping and jumping, and it's fixing to take this house out. I'm going to call it an all-out forest fire. We've got three big fires all located in one 5-mile area.
So it's on the northern side of Rock Creek and just south of Tecumseh Road. So it's lifting a little more to the north. It's going to go over central and northern Max Westheimer Airport. It is on the ground in those neighborhoods right now. Probably an F1, Mark.
Yeah, you're looking at it right now, Mike. I've got debris lifting out toward me and past me now on 36. I've got a lot of tree damage. I've got debris blowing in toward the tornado. This is going to be heading toward the water tower on the north side of Rock Creek. Power flash, large power flashes. This fit, Mike, coming to the ground right now. This fit. Folks, you got to be ready for it. Mike's getting big. I got trees coming down on me and power flashes. I got to back out of here. I got trees coming down on me. Wow. Back it out, Mike. Back it out.
Mark Dillard is in at least an F1 tornado right now. It's just to the south. It's in North Norman right now. At least F1, might be an F2.
Power flash.
And let's go back to Mark Dillard's stream. He's in the tornado right now in Norman. Go, Mark.
Yeah, power flashes. I've got power flashes in front of me. It is really cranking down, folks. I got tree damage. It is coming down right on top of us here. I'm just to the north of Rock Creek and on 36 here in West Norman. Got a lot of power flashes going toward the I-35 corridor now, over toward the airport on the north side of Max Westheimer. and it is a maelstrom out here, Mike. Whoa, hang on. It's back. Mike, it is trying to move the car on me here. It is bad news.
Yeah,
it's really
you're definitely in it.
ground, Mike.
It's going to cross I-35 at Tecumseh Road, and it's going to do so in about 15 to 20 seconds. Mark Dillard, let's just hope he's safe here, because he's actually in here about an F1, maybe a weak F2. Inside of it, this is in North Norman. It's gone through the neighborhoods in North Norman. Obviously, there is damage, and he is actually in the tornado here itself in his storm tracking vehicle. You're looking at it live here from on the west side of I-35 at Tecumseh Road is where that vortex in about 15, 20, 30 seconds is going to cross Interstate 35 on the northern edge of Max Westheimer Airport, not too far south of the old York plant. So a little way south of South Moore. It's going through North Norman. Go Mark Dillard.
Yes, Mike, it is cranking down right now. I've got a lot of debris. I'm going through the Walmart grocery parking lot now. I've got an immense amount of damage just to ancillary, buildings and signs. It is really cranking down, Mike. The RFD is tremendous on the backside of this thing as it is cranking down right now. I'm going over on Robinson now. Trying to get over to Rock Creek, trying to get over to I-35. We had power flashes, and we've got debris in the air, Mike. This is wrapping up in rain very rapidly as well. Back to you.
Here's Mark Dillard's stream live. Again, tornado continues in Norman. It's in North Norman. It's about an F1, maybe a weak F2, and this is all still on the ground. Here's one side of it. The other side of it is right here, north Max Westheimer. It's crossing Interstate 35 literally right now. Power flashes. Mark Dillard's been in the tornado. He's still on the edge of it right now. Mark, tell us about it.
Yes, Mike, got a little bit of damage to my vehicle here. It took off basically the cover to the rear view mirrors. Got a little close there, but it is really starting to crank down and get its act together again in what I would call, Mike, once again, a very, very large suction vortice area. The front side has suction vortices. The back side is now trying to crank down a separate funnel, possibly even a satellite, down on the back side here. This is bad news. I'm at 24th Northwest in Rock Creek on the very, very northwest side of the Max Westheimer Airfield. It's crossing I-35 as we speak. So just north of all this new development, there's that large National Guard armory area there. And then it's 77 and flood wrapped back into I-35 and then the curve. So it's going to be South Moore, North Norman. This is it. You've got to take your tornado precautions right now. This is a large and violent tornado, Mike. Had a lot of tree damage, high line, power line damage back there, and an immense amount of loose item damage like signage and whatnot. I didn't see, per se, structural damage, but I didn't really have time to hang around and wait for it to hit something. It's cranking down right now.
How far east or west this thing is going to cross I-40?
The National Weather Service has issued tornado watch number 540, effective until 3 a.m. Central Standard Time Tuesday.
However, it is a different scenario on I-40 where numerous accidents have been reported, especially out by Weatherford. For the latest, we take it out to Mark Dillard. He's been tracking this since late last night. And Mark, what's the latest? We see people digging over there.
Yes, Emily, there's a trooper and some record crews that are trying to clear the dirt and mud off the road from a crossover accident. I believe it's going to end up being a fatality accident. This trucker crossed over from the westbound into the eastbound lanes on this very, very, very slick patch of I-40 out here just to the west of Weatherford that's got now a traffic backup in both directions for miles. The eastbound is shut down while they clear the road off and get this truck out of the way. There's actually several trucks that they've got to move off the highway. And then back to the east, as I swing back around, the road is open because ODOT just had a truck come through with sand and sanded this little bit of a grade right here. And the trucks are riding on the center line where he sanded to give them enough traction to get up these small grades and small hills out here just to the west of Weatherford, between Weatherford and Clinton. And of course, we've got more trucks off the side of the road down the way there. It's just a real mess. I was actually out here yesterday. This area becomes very, very slick when it's got frozen precipitation on it. We had numerous accidents out here yesterday. And of course, now that the big rigs are having problems, it's just really, really a shutdown issue, at least for the eastbound lanes of I-40 out here. So travel is discouraged. We've got numerous troopers working these accidents along with wreckers. I would just suggest folks do not travel on I-40 west of the metro. Back to you.
Thanks, Dillard. Is that a confirmed fatality?
Well, the medical examiner was out here. I haven't spoken to the trooper yet, but I'm just going to assume, just by seeing the medical examiner called out, that is a fatality, yes.